Hello everyone, my name is Nisa Nisi Pisa and welcome back to my channel. This is my series, Window Shopping. But before we get into it, I want to address the elephant in the room. I know you guys are all wondering, Nisa, how did you get this gnarly bruise on your arm? And I'll tell you, on Friday night I did something I don't usually do and I went out to bars with my friends. Two of my friends and I were talking about movies and they brought up a film starring the actor Tom Hanks. And a couple cocktails, Mai Tai, 2 shots of orange soju, and a vodka Red Bull deep, was having trouble remembering the most recent film I saw featuring the actor Tom Hanks. We were walking down a sidewalk. I was lost in thought, like, did I just watch Big? No, I've never even seen Big. And I walked into a drainage pipe. I'd hit my arm quite hard. And my friends who were walking behind us caught up and they said, Niece, are you okay? And I said, I'm fine. I was just trying to think of what Tom Hanks movie I was just watching. And my friend who I talk about movies with said, Saving Private Ryan? And I was like, Saving Private Ryan! That's right! So that is what happened. I'm fine. We're window shopping Revolve today. I don't really know anything about Revolve. One time I needed a dress for something that was happening to me. And I had heard people talking about Revolve in the same vein you hear about people talking about anything. Like it was a store that they had shopped at. I went on Revolve and I went to dresses, and the first row of dresses were like $200 each. And I was in a phase in my life where I was looking to spend maybe like $35 on a dress. And so I just closed the tab and went to a Target, if memory serves. Now, I'm older and I have a job and I have like disposable income a little bit when it's further enough away in the month from when I have to pay rent and my credit card bill, where I'll spend $200 on a dress, but it has to be from some like woke, slow fashion, ethical clothing brand, which, how I love those so much. That's what happens when you go to Sarah Lawrence, is you develop a taste for only the wokest of activities, and that extends into commerce. It's already such a stupid video. I'm in a goofy mood because it's Easter and I'm going to go to my mom's house later, and there's a non-zero chance she bought me a chocolate bunny. You know what? I appreciate this dress for being cut in the back in a way where you can see shoes. I think that's classy. I like the idea of not having to compromise on showing off your shoes in your full-length gown. And it might look a little goofy, like it does look a little goofy, but my opinion with clothing is often that what's happening in the back of my outfit is not any of my business. Unfortunately, I haven't extended that into my thoughts about my own body, so I am always very insecure about back fat, but that's not really what we're talking about here. Oh my god, this is almost $550. Revolve is a retail platform. I think they do make clothes themselves, but they also host other brands. L'idée is this brand. Ooh. Look at this. They love an accordion pleat. Wow. All of these dresses look like you could roll marbles down them and have a really high octane race. 100% polyester. For $549? Does that make sense? I don't really know if that makes sense. Am I bugging, or are these pictures like really small? This is very pretty. I love these colors. I kind of feel like the lining of this dress stopping here is a misstep in the design. It's got like a funky little asymmetrical hem, so I grasped that the lining couldn't go all the way to the bottom. Does the design of the dress gain anything by having the legs be sheer like this? I find it distracting. Oh, I like that you can wear it with or without straps. That's really pretty. I get a lot of comments on my window shopping videos that you guys can hear birds. That's because my apartment building is actually not an apartment building. It's a tree. It's a really beautiful day. It's also way earlier in the day than I usually film. It's 10:25 in the morning on Sunday, April 20th. I just showered and did my hair, and I'm making my way through rewatching the television show Girls, so I'm all like emotionally fragile and just like thinking about life and my relationships. It's one of those shows that I like am kind of embarrassed means a lot to me, Girls on HBO. When it first premiered, I was 18 and I watched the first season religiously over and over again because I was writing a term paper about media representation. Then throughout college, I sort of hate watched the show. I recognize there's no reason for me to be talking about this right now, which I'm saying mostly for the benefit of me editing, not for you, the viewer, because it always really irritates me when I'm editing, when I go on massive tangents for no reason about something that has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with the clothes. The older I get, every time I rewatch the show, I find the characters less unlikable, and I find myself feeling more empathetic for them because at this point in my life, I've been through these age groups and these developmental stages where it's like, yeah, I was also really annoying when I was 24. Maybe not as annoying as the character Hannah Horvath, but like, in a sense. My whale. Okay, back to clothes. I hate ribbed fabric. Even big ribs like this. I think it just makes everything look kind of cheap to me. Ribbed fabric plus a lettuce hem is really hitting a double whammy on design element micro trends. This is crazy. Oh my God. The confidence it takes to wear something backless in this capacity. Imagine forgetting you're wearing this and leaning back against the cold plastic seat of a subway train. Oh, God, yeah. I always wonder, what is the back sweat management situation like when you have a dress like this? Especially in like a knit fabric. Because this is going to be a little warm. Viscose and nylon. It looks sweatery at the very least. I'm wondering if there's enough ventilation with the dress straight up not having a back to it, that's not a problem. Even though it's a sweatery material, you're not sweating because a quarter of the dress is just straight up missing. Sometimes my back is so sweaty that I'm surprised by it. Like, I'm surprised I haven't received phone calls from the EPA about needing to categorize my back as a new lake in the country. That feels like the kind of thing you have to check in with somebody about. You can't just open a lake. You have to catalog the lake. This is just like a little rubbery string across the back of the dress. Why not have that be like a nice ribbon? It feels like kind of an afterthought, right? Is it removable? It can't be removable. There'd be no way to keep the dress on if it was removable. You know what? It makes sense because it's designed to stay put, but they couldn't have put like a little ribbon on top of it and just have it be rubbery plasticky on the underside like strapless bras. Because having it be rubbery plasticky on both sides feels like kind of asking for your hair to get caught in it, right? Especially if you're dancing in this. If you have curly hair, oh, it is going to be fused. People are going to think you have amazing posture the whole time. It's just that there's a marriage of sin happening between the support strap of your dress and the lower third of your head of hair. This is a great dress to buy if you have an event at 9, but you have a lobster dinner at 8 and you don't feel like changing. Ooh. Fringe Benefits Slip. Oh, I know Thistle Inspire. I like some of their stuff. They're like a lingerie brand. I've seen this on Instagram for years, this snake bodysuit. I love lingerie. Dude, if I had the body proportions where I could buy lingerie from really mainstream brands, like I'm not going to Revolve shopping for lingerie. You know, I gotta go places where I know they got kind of uncommon sizes. That's why I buy bras at Torrid, because you can't get a 42 band size everywhere. But if I didn't have to limit myself to that, I would be so much more irresponsible with my money. Irresponsible because I don't do a job where people would see my lingerie, and I don't have a romantic partner. So it would literally just be for me to wear cavorting around my apartment, which I do. Like sometimes this is something I do. I call it Fosse time, like Bob Fosse, the choreographer time, where I put on a pair of fishnets and a little pair of like Mary Jane kitten heels. And oftentimes I'll just wear like an oversized black t-shirt, but sometimes I'll put on like a little lingerie outfit. And I put on the soundtrack to Chicago and I just like start cavorting around my apartment. I'm not a dancer. I don't have experience with like the Fosse technique of dancing, which requires a lot of muscle control. If you've ever watched like old school Broadway dancers, it's hard to do. It looks very easy and sleek and sensual, but it's very difficult. I kind of like pantomime it like the way a toddler would, having just seen someone do a dance, just around my apartment. It's one of the many ways I stay active in my old age of 31. This in green is so ugly. This is great if you are dating somebody with like a fetish for Christmas. Chop me down. I'm a little fir tree and I can't wait to be in your living room. Make sure to water me because if I get dry enough, I'll light on fire. Ooh, I hope there's not a short in any of your string lights. Better not put me too close to your curtains. I don't like this clasp in the middle. I feel like it ruins the illusion a little bit. The black and red, this kind of just looks like undersea life, especially the red. Like it's very tube worm. If you ever watched a documentary about the deep ocean, like deep enough where there's heavy salt lagoons, you see tube worms that live in little vents, little thermodynamic vents spouting off super hot bursts of water. And the only life forms that can survive in that hot environment are tube worms and little fucking crabs. That's what this looks like. What is this? Cody dress. What? It looks like it has road rash. Why are we not giving this beautiful turquoise its proper attention? Why is the lion's share of this dress this sickly pink? This looks like when you keep a photograph in a place where it gets too much sunlight and over the course of like 20 years, all of the color is bleached out of it. That's so ugly. It's like insulting to give me these beautiful glimpses of this gorgeous color and be like, oh, actually, no, the dress looks pallid and peaky. Peaked. Is that what like old women say when you're looking sick? Peaked? You look peaked? I can't wait to be like 50 years old. Like actually, I think about it a lot. I'm wearing an outfit today that feels very much like something I could wear in 30 years. I'll show you. So I'm wearing this boyfriend top from Old Navy in like pale yellow. And then these wide leg jeans from Torrent. Did you hear my hip crack? Golly. Can we talk about this dichotomy? The Silky milkmaid dress next to this monstrosity. I very recently had my very first experience with a Silky puff dress. Kind of like this, but not exactly. If you've never heard of Silky, it's a brand with a lot of internet clout. This is the puff dress by Silky. They make these dresses in approximately 1 trillion little prints in a couple different fabrics. I think this one is polyorganza. There's something very sweet about the shape of the puff dress. I feel like it reminds me of something I would have worn when I was a little girl, and it has sort of a 60s baby doll dress thing going for it because it's very short. There was one in a thrift store I was in the other day, and I tried it on kind of as a novelty. It was this awful poly fabric, and it was like a pastel rainbow gradient. It's not something that I would want to wear. It's just not my style. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my style. This little boob panel was so far down my abdomen. I had like 1.5 miles of cleavage. And because it was polyorganza, it was completely see-through. It was like trying to smuggle 2 Chips Ahoy cookies somewhere in a Ziploc bag. I wasn't hiding anything. Anyway. Shailene Woodley? Oh my god. This is so ugly. I need to like organize my thoughts. All right. Let's start top to bottom. Let's be measured about this. First of all, we have like a cowl neck turtleneck. I don't know why it's so flaccid on the curve model. Oh my god. It looks like ferrofluid, like that like spiky magnetic liquid. Then we have the actual print of the dress, like a fleur-de-lis starfish combination. I guess we have airbrushing here to look like natural shadows on the body, on the navel, like abs, under boob. Oh my god, it's like Halloween it's like superhero Halloween costumes that have fake abs. Ew. And then this doesn't even have the common decency to be floor length. Maybe in a different color it makes more sense. Oh, okay, that's fine. So that's like adorable. We're not going to address the scales. I would maybe wear this to try to seduce the fish guy from Hellboy, or perhaps to attend pledging events for some sort of underwater sorority in the lost city of Atlantis. Anyway, we spent a lot of time here. Okay. This is interesting. Our next victim, the En Tutu mini dress from Lyonesse. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Oh! I feel tricked by this one because I couldn't see from the, again, bizarrely zoomed out photos of this outfit that this dress has a cute little houndstooth print. I love houndstooth. I love houndstooth. You know, that being said, I will say I don't like this dress for a reason I feel like I'm having trouble articulating. It feels disorganized. It feels disorganized to me. I don't like the shirred torso with this smocking. It distracts from the print, which again is like a cute little houndstooth. It's not exclusively that. Like, I feel like I might get corrected on it. But like houndstooth has these little like spikes on it like that. So either way, it's like a cute little print, which I really enjoy. And I kind of feel like it's so small and the dress has all of these other design elements on it that it's like, what's the point? You know, what's the point of giving it a cute little houndstooth adjacent print when that's clearly not the focus of the dress? That being said, I like the bubble hem. I like bubble skirts. I find them charming. They remind me of reading 17 magazine when I was a tween and agonizing over the spreads they would do about how to dress for your specific body type. Those were so brutal. I think whoever's idea it was to put that in a magazine for teen girls was maybe trying to win some kind of anti-Nobel Prize. This is the Irene dress from Aster the Label. I don't have a ton to say about this, so I'll make this brief. I love the color of this dress so much. Deep jewel tones are so sexy, and I think they truly look good on everyone. These straps, are completely hideous. They look absurd. I grasp the juxtaposition here in pairing these frayed lace, shabby chic straps with this sleek, minimalist dress cut, but they're too frayed. They're just shabby and not chic. From the back, specifically, they kind of look like big black amoebas slithering down the model's shoulder blades. Can you call the movement of amoebas slithering? I feel like it's more accurate to say they just float or drift. Are there any microbiologists watching me? I don't like when dresses that don't hit the floor have really high thigh slits like this. I just think it looks kind of, I don't know, disorganized. Like, it's not bad, it's fine, but I think especially on a taller person, it just kind of looks unnecessary, the slit, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. Belle Paper Bag Faux Leather Short from Bardot. This is a number 7 bestseller. Okay, let's rap about this. But rap in like a 90s substitute teacher way, not like, I'm not gonna write a rap right now. Don't worry. I would say the real challenge of being a woman my age, I'm trying to talk about being a millennial a little bit less, but it does color a lot of my experiences. And also a lot of my subscribers aren't millennials. A lot of you are Gen Z adults. So I think it might be interesting for you to hear about like the generational differences between us, even though we are both, in the grand scheme of things, young adults. And then of course, for people who are the same age as me or a little bit older, there's like a kinship between us because we've experienced the same things and have had a lot of the same thoughts about the same articles of clothing. So I feel like it adds an extra flavor to my videos. But I also know that the whole generation war thing is very played out at this point. But I feel like I'm exempt from it because I'm not even being mean. I'm literally just talking. Anyway, as I was saying, the challenge of being a woman of my age and experience is that I can never exactly tell if I think paper bag waists look good or not. I guess I could say the same thing about fake leather because, you know, it very much has a similar spot in the grand encyclopedia of millennial microtrends. But I'm of the opinion that a quirky fabric texture is easier to pull off than a quirky cut. Leather shorts as an item feel very 2016. I'm kind of surprised to even see this on a website like Revolve in 2025, especially as a best-selling item. These are the kinds of things that I would have put on a Coachella outfits polyvore spread in college because I had never been to a music festival or a desert for that matter. And this seemed like the kind of thing that you would wear to something like that. I wasn't thinking about the murderous chafing you would get if you wore pleather shorts to Coachella or anywhere. I once had a pair of baby pink paper bag waist shorts from H&M, and I bought them with money from my first summer job. And I loved them because when I wore them to school, this guy that I had a crush on that I sat next to in my English class when I was a junior would tease me about how they were a dress code violation. And I was like, oh my God, he's flirting with me. And then one night it was really hot and I was wearing them at home. And because it was really hot, I assumed that there might be a blackout. So I was lighting a bunch of candles. I was home alone for some reason. And I spilled candle wax on my shorts. And I tried to get the wax out and I couldn't. And I was so heartbroken about the stain that I think they kind of ruined all other paper bag waist shorts for me. That doesn't really have anything to do with these shorts themselves. And actually, I think these are kind of cute, even though I feel like they would be so uncomfortable, especially because they have this little stylish cuff and it's just adding more fabric to an already spatially limited area, the inner thigh. Oh God, I just had a thought. Imagine if you were wearing these to a restaurant on a summer's day, or even a spring's day, the way global warming is going, and you sit in a booth. Already when you're wearing shorts in a restaurant booth, you have to unstick yourself and use all the force in your body to do it. But imagine doing it in this outfit. Half of your thigh is raw skin, and the other half is body heated pleather against leather. For the love of God, a crowbar might be necessary. I'm going to talk about this for quite literally 15 seconds. I have nothing to say about this outfit. It bores me. I think the skirt's kind of ugly. Tops like this, I think are fine. Whatever. I brought this up because this is one of the most beautiful colors I have ever seen anything ever have. This is stunning. Sicilian blue. Grazie. Grazie mille, even. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Okay, done. We're done. Just stop for a minute and smile. Is everybody so serious? Okay. Black one-leg pant by Romeo Hunt. Take it in. Take it all the way in. This is happening to us right now. This is happening. You're looking at this. I didn't do anything to this image. This is what these genuinely look like. The black one-leg pant from Romeo Hunt. Okay? Now that we've all had our time, the shock should have worn off. Let's get into it. Aesthetic brutality aside, these pants would be a nightmare for me for a specific reason that has nothing to do with the fact that I think that they are hideously ugly. And I also don't understand what climate anybody would ever want to wear these in. You know, not everything is for daily wear. Like, this clearly has some kind of elevated designer attitude to it, right? I mean, the accompanying top has the designer's name on it. Like, it's $725. Like, this is not something you're wearing to your office job. You know, it's an event piece to be sure. But for me, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this fabric, right? Especially right up here in the inner thigh. Like 6 times a day, I'll feel a little hair from my head or a little fiber from my clothes on my skin of my arm or my legs. And I jump 3 feet in the air because I feel like there's a little bug on me. And I'm trying, as I get older, to be a little bit more mature about having a little bug on me. It's not the end of the world. I'm so massive compared to this little bug. He's just chilling in the world. He doesn't deserve to die because I'm freaked out by it. I don't kill spiders anymore. I take bugs out of my apartment and I put them outside. The only bugs that I still kill are house centipedes. I know that they do like the same thing as spiders, like they eat other bugs, but they are so fucking freaky looking. I can't handle it. I've like destroyed my own property in an effort to kill a centipede before, and I'll do it again. Anyway, can you imagine having an article of clothing with all of these soft, little tiny fabric frays on one leg and completely bare skin on the other leg? You would never be able to tell if you actually had a little bug on you or not. I imagine these little denim tendrils are probably just as barely there soft as the 8 little paws of a house spider. Also, this feels like a lot of crotch for something so low rise. Am I crazy? This is sitting below the navel, but this looks like a very long zipper. Am I like kind of off base in saying that these being a straight leg jean makes them look even worse? Like, at least commit to a bell bottom if you're gonna do something kooky, crazy, wacko like this. Just like a basic straight leg. This should be tight on the leg and then flaring at the knee. Like, so much of a flare that it looks like one of your legs is wearing a mermaid cut ball gown. And keep this, I don't care about the little denim panty side. Whatever, that's fine. It's stupid, but the whole idea is stupid. So, like, it's okay. This cut of jean is uninspired on an article of clothing whose whole point is to look inspired. And that's something that I can't forgive. This is a two-piece set, but we're going to be specifically talking about the jacket. This is the Talvi jacket from Retrofet. I'm going to challenge myself as a humorist, because I refuse to call myself a comedian, and not make the obvious joke about aluminum foil, right? About how this is the perfect thing to wear when you're planning on hugging a potato until it's baked and ready for sour cream. You know, I'm better than that. There's a slightly more intelligent, but still pretty low-hanging joke to be made about a fashion-forward conspiracy theorist who didn't want their tinfoil hat to clash with their outerwear. Ha 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 ha. Right? Bucking both of those. What really charms me here about this jacket are the faux fur sleeve cuffs, which, according to the notes about the jacket, are not removable. There's nothing here that says that you can take them off. So you're stuck with these faux fur cuffs if you buy the Talvi jacket. The fur trim cuffs make what I feel would otherwise be a tacky yet fun kind of futuristic jacket into something I can't really describe as anything other than conspicuously Christmassy. Like if there were a Santa's elf equivalent to Smurfette, this jacket is what she would be wearing. Or, in like a Christmas movie about a kid from a poor family learning that no amount of material gifts can outweigh the love of your family and the love of our Lord and Savior, little tiny infant baby Jesus. In the inevitable scene of that movie where our protagonist is being bullied for having tattered and outdated clothing, this is the outfit, including the shorts, that the mean, popular rich girl would be wearing. And of course, she has matching white fur earmuffs and boots, and she has like little tights on with it. And then like at the end of the movie, she, I don't know, gets a bunch of hot cocoa dumped on her. It's like her comeuppance. But then like a character that she bullied earlier in the movie, not necessarily the protagonist, maybe like a hot guy character, like how Sharpay hooks up with the guy who bakes on the basketball team at the end of High School Musical 1. Stop acting like you don't know his name is Zeke. Like kind of one of those situations where it's like they kind of look at, like he hands her a towel, you know, to wipe the hot chocolate off of her coat. And then they kind of lock eyes and she's like, oh my God, I can find love. I just have to not be a raging bitch all the time. Or like how at the end of Hairspray, how Amber starts dancing with one of the black dancers, even though her racist mom doesn't want her to. And she's like, Mom, fuck off, you know? Anyway, that's how I feel about this. I don't even believe that this was once $798. I've never heard of this brand. Maybe like that's par for the course. Oh, snap. That's hot. This is the Julia dress. Oh, this is stunning. What's the back of it look like? Natch. See, this is what I was talking about with the dress before. Like, if you're gonna have a little connective tissue for your backless dress, this is a really classy way to do it. And it's a tie, so you can make it tighter if you want. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow. I find this less impactful in white, which is surprising. This is just stellar. This made me laugh. I thought of something really stupid to say about this. This is the Anya mini skirt, and it's part of this two-piece set. All right. I think this is very fun and silly looking. I love when menswear inspired women's wear looks less like a deconstructed men's suit and more like you injected something from the sale rack at Men's Warehouse with radioactive materials and just let it mutate over time. Wait, no, actually, you know what's better? This looks like a regular suit undergoing cellular meiosis. Like the way that this clasp is mirrored on the top and bottom, it's like this is where they separated from each other. These are the two daughter cells. Like, obviously, I do think that this is a pretty stupid looking outfit, but I also find that I feel this looks DIY in a cool way. If I were on TikTok and a girl said, oh, my dad gave me this old suit of his and I wanted to freak on it a little and this is what I made, and then she walked out in this and it wasn't from Revolve, I'd be like, oh, ooh. You know, like if it wasn't made to be sold en masse and was instead just made to like express artistic thought and upcycle, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. That like looks cool. I can't really imagine ever wearing this, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Actually, I kind of wish it was a cooler suit. I don't think it gains anything by being made from this slate, very drab suit. Like imagine if this was Houndstooth or plaid. Oh, that'd go crazy. Like yellow plaid, like kind of a Cher's outfit from the beginning of Clueless inspired. That could kind of go off. But this gray, I don't know. It's going to look ridiculous regardless. I don't think we need to compromise on wearability of the print. Like, look at it. This could be anything. This could look like anything. We don't need to keep it conservative. It's inherently not. That's how I feel. This is the Ione dress from Aster. Ione? How is this pronounced?
You are looking at Julian's pronunciation guide where we look at how to pronounce better.
This is so much more intimate than I thought it would be. I don't like the way you're talking to me, Julian.
Ione.
Okay, thanks. This is the Ione dress from Aster. I don't even have a ton to say. I love this. I want to twirl in it. I would never stop twirling if I had this dress. I like the asymmetricality of it. I think it would make for really interesting twirls. I know, though, that I would inevitably destroy it by twirling close to, like, I don't know, a plank of wood with a splintery bit or a doorknob, like a broken doorknob, and I would tear it. But going back to the asymmetricality of the hem, maybe I could make that work for the dress. Oh man, like again, I wish that they had little videos where the models are cavorting around in the dresses, because then I could see what the real twirlability of it is. I feel like I've talked about in another window shopping video how there was a model who was wearing a dress that would look great in a twirl, and then she didn't twirl in the video. It must have been on ASOS, because ASOS has videos, and I was really upset about it. And then I started wondering if maybe the brands don't want the models to twirl. Like maybe they're literally not allowed to twirl. This kind of seems like one of those things that I cut out of my window shopping videos because they're really dumb sounding. And I spend like 5 minutes talking about them and they're not actually all that interesting. Okay. Speaking of rambling, I think that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Window Shopping. Don't forget to use code NisiPisa for 10% off at checkout at your local clothing genetic material warping solution store. To grow your very own strange radioactive menswear sets. I love you so much. Goodbye.